Good morning, everyone. Glad you could join us again. No matter where you are in this beautiful world, I hope you're having a great day. Let's take a look at XRP. Based on the one-day chart we see right now, XRP is worth $283. Today, the chart looks great, and I can see that everyone is saying, this is it. We've all been waiting for this moment. But wait, that call should not be made yet, in my opinion. This is what I see on the 7-day map. It moved sideways for a while, then went down twice, and then moved sideways again. However, we are beginning to break away from that trend, which is great. I think we'll get back to $3 if we can break through and stay above $2.85. The breakout is definitely going to happen. It will happen soon. Also, Bitcoin is now back above $110,000. Everyone thinks this might be Bitcoin's last chance to get to the top. But let's not get too far ahead of ourselves again. This week, a lot of things can happen. Good news. September is almost over. And to be honest, September wasn't that great. Do you remember how everyone thought September would be a good month for XRP? For a moment, things looked good, but then they went back down. But now we're moving into October, and I really believe that this will be the month we've been waiting for. This is especially true now that so many ETFs are set to launch later this month. Some news stories say that the price of XRP could reach $4. Analysts are positive when the chart looks good. What do you know? It always works out this way. Everyone is positive again when XRP goes up. Everyone hates it and wants to sell it when it's in the red. As soon as the chart goes green, everyone jumps back in. In crypto, we see this trend all the time. When XRP was $50, I told people for 2 years to buy it. People said at the time, we're never going above $1. Now we're almost back to $3. People still hear me say, it's not too late. There is a big rise in XRP. The news story, though, is that we'll never see $4. Some people think this run for XRP is over. Everyone is acting like it's over even though we haven't even begun. Also, 𝗙𝗶𝗆 bought 1 million XRP on Kraken and is now calling himself a member of the XRP army. Don't forget that he sold not long ago. He's back in now. This is how things work in this area. Even the most well-known people change their minds all the time. People say that XRP doesn't look good when the market is yellow. Then, when the market goes green, they buy again and tell you to do the same. One piece did say that people who want to invest in XRP shouldn't think about the prices from October. But here's the thing. This October is not like the others. There are many things going on for XRP. The first thing is that all of those ETFs are about to be accepted. But it's more than that. Also, ISO 20022 is almost ready to be put into place in November. A lot of people are likely to want to get ready before that happens. There is also the chance that regulations will become clear, which could happen by Thanksgiving, Christmas, or sometime in between. That would be huge for cryptocurrencies like XRP that are based on usefulness. Does anyone think that Q4 will be a terrible month? I believe they will all be shown to be incorrect. Now, a lot of people want to know more about SWIFF's pilot scheme with Ethereum L2 Linea. Let them build, please. Now, here's the deal. In a strategic sense, all value flows on the blockchain will finally touch liquidity layers like XRP, which control efficiency and settlement. If you want the best offering on the market, don't care what Swift does with Ethereum. They have XRP for instant cash flow that works with Ripple technology. Also, anyone who thinks Ethereum is the future is very wrong. A neutral, interoperable asset that doesn't favor any one state over another. That's the only way to meet the liquidity needs of our new world monetary system. Here's what 𝗙𝗵 has to say about it. Interoperability is a key factor. You are working on different things and in different places. If you don't have a neutral asset between the different CBDCs, your liquidity will be split between the NS² sets of CBDCs. For the same reason, if other assets like stocks around the world are tokenized, there will be an even greater need for a neutral asset between different cryptocurrencies and maybe a lot of new assets in new asset classes. Not even a central bank is going to make a digital currency that works like Bitcoin, XRP, or Ethereum. These are neutral assets that are not controlled by any one country. That is, CBDCs will not take over the role of assets used in general settlements. Everyone can agree that they can't get everyone to use an asset they own, so you need a neutral asset in the middle of the CBDCs. That can be used as a settlement across all legal states. So, an asset that no one can control is better than one that their global rivals can control. People sometimes say that Bitcoin is the answer to all of these problems. And in the beginning, that almost made sense. But now there are about 1,500 cryptocurrencies that don't work with Bitcoin, and almost nothing that isn't crypto works with Bitcoin. This is just a new version of the walled garden problem. We didn't build the internet so that it would work with everything. We built one network and made everyone join it, which was too many sacrifices too fast. No Cisco for the internet. This is what David Schwartz is saying. There still needs to be a fair link between digital currencies issued by central banks. That's the level of trust. I've always talked about XRP. This is most likely to be found inside BRICS. Why? China does not trust Russia, and Russia does not trust China. When they send money within the BRICS system, it makes sense to use a neutral bridge asset. They will also need the ability to convert. The yuan from China goes in, is changed to the ruble with XRP, and then comes out. This is also true when the US sends money to the EU and other places. That's why XRP will live on. And Anthony Welfare agrees with this completely. He said that the job of the CBDC as a whole was very important for learning what central banks wanted and how important commercial banks are. That's why steady coins are the point right now. From one of his talks, he had this great quote: "Christine Lagarde doesn't want to hear from you calling to change the password for your wallet." Of course, tongue and mouth. Still, the point is that central banks aren't made for regular people or small companies. They're in charge of the big pay world. The lessons learned from 2021 to 2024 had a big effect on the growth of the XRP ledger, both from Ripple and from the partner ecosystem as a whole. Like Anthony said, you've picked a very important time to get the XRP ledger ready for the world we live in now and the huge growth of safe coins we're seeing. We only need to think about compatibility now. To make it easy for people and companies to use them, stablecoins, tokenized deposits, and CBDCs all need to work together.